If the United States tries a gold confiscation again, not only will you give up your gold, you will do it of your own free will. In this video, I'm going to go over how this could happen and how they will get you to do it. Coming up. Hey everyone, welcome to Campbell's Coins. Now, I'm not saying a gold confiscation will happen. It has happened, and it can happen again. I'm just posturing on how it could happen again. I can already hear the comments out there. The government's going to take my gold over my dead body. Don't get me wrong. I love the attitude and the energy, but I feel the government will confiscate gold without ever firing a shot. Not because you armchair warriors don't sound as tough as you type, but because the government will make it seem so enticing, you'll give up your gold freely. I'll get into what I mean in a couple minutes, but first let's backtrack a bit. The United States has banned gold in the past, but will a future gold confiscation come in terms of price reevaluation or perhaps another avenue? There's a monetary regime shift coming. It happened in 1913 with the creation of the Federal Reserve, in 1933 with the confiscation of U.S. gold, in 1971 when Nixon took the U.S. off the gold standard and when the last silver was removed from our coins. And now a new one is knocking on our doors, the digital dollar. Last week I put out a video about the Fed announcing that they are moving forward with the CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. If you haven't watched that video, I highly suggest checking it out right after this one. When I hear the news of a digital dollar coming, my mind starts swirling and it solidifies my thoughts of a gold confiscation happening even more. In 1933, President Roosevelt signed Executive Order 6102, which made it illegal to own gold within the United States. The order was made under the authority of Trading with the Enemy Act of 1917. The Trading with the Enemy Act of 1917 was signed during World War I and restricted any and all trade between the United States and its enemies in times of war. The reach of this act was later expanded to in times of peace as well by Congress. Are you noticing some big red flags here? The U.S. was essentially calling its own citizens who held gold enemies of the state. There were a few exceptions to the gold ban. Gold numismatic coins and gold jewelry were allowed, but one had to prove that they were a coin dealer dealing with rare numismatic coins in order to be given an exemption. Citizens could keep only 5 ounces of gold per household. To give an extra you to the citizens of this country, the day after the deadline to turn in all gold bullion, the government raised the spot price of gold from $20 an ounce to $35 an ounce. That's right, after paying U.S. citizens $20 in paper currency for their gold that the government decreed must be turned in, President Roosevelt raised the price of gold to $35 an ounce, effectively robbing people 58% of their wealth in just a single day. Some people say the gold spot price rose due to demand across the world, but it's a little strange that it happened the day after the turn in your gold deadline. Those who were well connected knew of this confiscation coming and had their gold shipped to Europe, where such restrictions did not exist. A lot of pre-33 gold coins were melted down into bars to pay off U.S. debts. In 1974, Gerald Ford repealed this order, once again allowing private ownership of gold coins, bars, and certificates. What about a gold confiscation now? Do I think that armed troops will be marching house to house seizing the gold inside? No, I don't think so. I think that they will pick the road of least resistance. That and so few people actually own gold, it would be a massive operation for next to no one. I think that they will raise the price of gold and silver to such a high amount, people will rush to sell it. That's right, people will turn in something of value, their gold, for this piece of paper. A currency that they print to infinity, or even a digital dollar that they can create an infinite number of as well, that just shows up in your digital wallet. Central banks put down gold but then stack tons of it. Does that ever seem odd to you? They put down an asset they then gobble up by the ton. They can inflate the price of these metals to whatever they want, and people will rush to sell their gold for worthless paper currency, or even digital currency. What does it really cost them? Nothing. They can use taxpayer money to print the currency or run the computers to create more digital currency and take from you that which many say, over my dead body. Don't believe me? Just take a look at some of these polls that I put up on my Instagram. I took them on a Thursday afternoon, so my story traffic wasn't super high like it is on the weekends, but it's still a good sample size. About 280 people saw the stories, and out of that 280, 160 people voted on all 6 different polls. Would you sell your gold if the price was $5,000? 59% said yes. Would you sell your gold if the price was $10,000 an ounce? 70% said yes. Would you sell your gold if the price was $15,000 an ounce? 77% said yes. These are astonishing numbers. Wait until the end of this video and I'll show you the silver polls. My Instagram page is part of a fairly large gold and silver stacking community. People who know cash is trash and we should have our hands on hard assets like physical precious metals. But 77% would sell their gold if the price was $15,000. It's really mind-blowing. But what's stopping the government from raising the price to $15,000 an ounce, getting that 77% to cash in their gold for something which holds no value? Nothing really. But then they could raise the price to $50,000 an ounce or $100,000 an ounce. In a sense, the price reevaluation becomes the confiscation and the ban all rolled up into one. Nearly 80% turning in their gold with dollar signs in their eyes, something that the central banks want, and leaving gold too expensive for the average individual to own after the reevaluation. After the reevaluation, they could ban the mining of gold due to quote-unquote environmental concerns. We are seeing these concerns raised right now with the mining of Bitcoin and other cryptos. Additionally, to get more people involved in the program like the new digital dollar, they might have enticing offers for you to turn in your precious metals. If you turn in your gold and select the digital currency option, you'll get 2 digital dollars instead of 1 in physical cash. We see the government bribing people now with the vaccine. California is giving away $116 million to those who get vaccinated. It's kind of a raffle. They'll draw people every day. About $50K a day to anyone who gets vaccinated. During Obama's reign of terror, his time in office, there was a Cash for Clunkers program. Turn in your polluting car for some extra cash. Even when you go to a Coinstar, you're offered more currency selecting the gift card option than the physical cash option. I could go on with examples, but for the sake of brevity, I'll stop there. If you thought the gold polls were shocking, check out these polls I got on silver. If silver goes to $100 an ounce, are you selling? 63% said yes. If silver goes to $500 an ounce, are you selling? 77% said yes. If silver goes to $1,000 an ounce, are you selling? 86% said yes. It would seem almost everyone has a price, and all the government has to do is raise the price, triggering a massive sell-off of these metals, reevaluate the prices even higher, then ban the ownership of them. It would be more effective than the confiscation of 1933. Those who had the foresight back then knew it wasn't for their own good to turn in their precious metals for paper currency. I had a few people message me after they voted yes in these polls, asking me pretty similar questions. What are the prices on other commodities like food and gas? One guy even asked if the price of condoms was so prohibitively expensive in my hypothetical scenario that recycle centers open up for them. I did not reply to that last one. But their point was, if the price on everything is up an insane amount and gold still hits $15,000 an ounce, then they are not selling. Given the handful of people who reached out after voting, I suspect that this would be the same response from many other individuals as well. I also, when I put these polls out, I didn't preface anything where I was giving any examples. It was just, if it's at this price, would you sell? And I just wanted straightforward answers. So I know I kind of misled people, but I just wanted to see if they're given that option, how many would choose it? And a fair amount of them did. As you can see, we are our own worst enemy, selling gold and silver when the price is right. I just caution folks, you're selling something of value for something of no value. Personally, my plan is to trade my gold and silver for other hard assets. Not all of my gold and silver, mind you, just a portion of my stack. I will always hold on to these metals for the protection and strategic necessity that they provide. If you're interested in other topics like this one, check out the other videos I have on my channel discussing the rarity of these metals and how they can help you preserve and protect your wealth. If you've made it this far in the video, you guys and gals are my super stackers, and I truly appreciate you. Thank you all for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.